Yeah, I noticed that. I think Brian's dressed like Huntmaster of the Fells. He's got his like hat on there. He's like, yeah.
He doesn't have the Huntsmaster of the Fells beard though.
No.
Disappointed.
He
He's
might be working on
it.
Right.
He's working on it. He saw this. He finally saw the art from the card when the set.
Like, gotta grow the beard. Yeah.
You know, the visual card spoiler went up, and he was like, oh well.
Guess
I'm going to be playing with Huntmaster of the Fells. I need to look like Huntsmaster of the Fells.
Yeah, it was either that or like play Havengul Lich and kind of don't eat, so you look like a skeleton.
Yeah. So anyway, when Snapcaster Mage came out, I like looked into getting a Mega Man arm, but
yeah, it's just too expensive. I think.
Yeah, it's just really expensive.
Really not worth it. Plus, you had to pay for the Snapcaster Mages.
Yeah.
You know, and if you didn't order them early, they're $30 each. I guess I'll just forego the Mega Man arm thing. Put like a jug of water there instead.
Yeah.
Just a milk jug filled with water tied to your arm. That close enough.
That'll do. All right, and we're off.
So we have mono green. Which one of these guys is going to get it done?
Very nice.
Brian
Gondun played a forest. Cast a Birds of Paradise.
This is going to be bad. We're going to do this the entire match.
It seems like Brian done the same thing.
Alright.
Brian and Ryan playing up, and the turn 2 Sword of Feast and Famine is about the best thing that could have happened in a mono green mirror.
Yeah, that might be it. I mean, if Brian can't deal with
Ryan's Sword of Feast and Famine.
I mean, if he can't, the birds might just pick up the sword and go all the way for the rest of the game.
I would not be surprised at all if that happened.
Do we have naturalize anywhere here in these?
Maybe one slime.
Creeping, corrosion, 2 naturalize.
He does have a slime.
And a slime. Oh, slime in the main deck, yeah.
So that's going to be his.
Oh, that's a way to do it.
Yeah.
This is really a mirror match.
This is interesting.
Both players on turn 1 birds. Both players on turn
2 sword.
Turn 2 sword of Feast and Famine. Although Brian does it with a Phyrexian Metamorph instead.
This is awesome.
Now we got to see
Ryan's going to go ahead and equip this sword. That's what I would do too.
This is just going to be both players bashing back and forth with swords.
Does Ryan have a 1-drop to play? Do you have a 1-drop, Ryan?
Can he make use of that extra mana there? Yeah.
All right. Attacks for 2.
Untaps his lands. Brian discards.
Brian goes down to 16 here.
What is that he discarded? Can't quite see.
I think it's a basic forest.
That's what I was thinking too.
So right now we're watching a match that involves 48 copies of the card Forest.
Yeah, and no Lost in the Woods. Come on.
Now, how many? I'd kind of forgotten that Forest was a Magic card.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, Big Head Joe, my podcast partner, is fond of saying, the format's good when you can play green and not feel like a doofus. It's just like, I think that's a pretty fair assessment.
Oh, and what's coming down here? Is Brian done for? It's 3. It could be a Daybreak Ranger. Oh, it's another Phyrexian Metamorph. Now Ryan's got double Sword of Feast and Famine.
Yikes. Yeah, that's... Can Ryan match it with another Metamorph? This is kind of interesting. It's just like which player is going to have a different card. If Brian, plays another Metamorph here.
I think Ryan wins at this point. I think it's very difficult for Brian to win, even if he has perfect chain of cards.
Right,
yeah.
because Ryan has first crack.
Yeah, he already got to hit him with a sword. Next turn he's gonna next turn he essentially Lightnings him.
Yeah.
And gets to cast something pre-combat. Most likely, it just seems.
Yeah. Equip. That works.
And gets number 2 of his own, evening up the score, 16-16. Ryan's going to have to discard a card here. Let's see what he decides to discard. If you have the Bellowing Tangleworm, I think you should discard that one. Maybe we could get some information from the judge on what he discarded there. I was unable to see.
Yeah. Tangleworm would be a good one, for sure.
Not the card you want to draw here. Now Ryan has some interesting cards in his sideboard. A Corrosive Gale.
What, I don't even remember what that does. Is that like Hurricane at all? It sounds like it would be Hurricane. I can't remember what it does. I can look it up.
I thought it was...
Bellowing Tangleworm is what he discarded. That's a nice discard. Man.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to be discarding here.
Right.
Corrosive Gale. Let's take a look.
All right, there's acidic slime for Ryan. Ryan has all the answers this game, it looks like. And even though Brian was able to match that Sword of Feast and Famine, it's not looking good.
Wait, Ryan didn't bash here?
What do you mean? I think...
He didn't attack with his sword? He could have attacked with Double Sworded Guy. His opponent would have discarded 2 cards.
Right, but then he couldn't cast the acidic slime. I guess he just wanted to get rid of that opposing sword.
Yeah,
but now he's open to, well, he does have, he's got double sword.
I mean, I think it's over anyway. He kind of like take any line, but...
Yeah, see, I mean, he would have just had 4 mana to play with, and maybe he just didn't have a play and thought it'd probably be better to slime away the opposing sword.
Corrosive Gale's the Hurricane Phyrexia mana. Seems like there are many on the internet who have tried to use it with Rage Extractor.
Yeah, everybody's making the point on Twitter that Huntmaster, even though we were talking about the birds being his only way to play it, Green Sun Zenith plays it too.
Oh yeah, I mean, it can obviously you can search it up with Green Sun Zenith, but and if you draw it, it's...
Yeah, if you draw it and not the birds, you're stuck. So there's a Thrun from Brian.
And is it really better than another copy of Thrun? I just don't know when I get it with Green Sun. I like the card a lot in blue decks, but I don't know if I like it in green decks.
I mean, that interaction with Snapcaster is really good. Puts it, you know, it's exactly what I wanted to do with it. Not the necessarily Snapcaster interaction, but I mean, I want to put it in a blue deck. I thought it, you know, it looked like a pretty great card for a blue deck.
Or just a deck with instants in general.
Yeah.
You want to be able to just pass the turn with it.
I mean, let's be honest, I really just wanted to put it in a blue deck.
Yeah. I just want to play instants.
Yeah. Which is...
Sorcery Speed Magic. I think this acidic slime may pick up a sword, or maybe the bird will pick up sword number 2.
Yeah, if the bird picks up sword number 2...
If Ryan has wants to use 5 mana again this turn, he could spend all 4 and double equip the slime, attack with the slime, hit Brian for 6, make Brian have no more hand, and then cast a 5-drop. Seems like a pretty good line of play.
It does, yeah. We don't know what's in Ryan's hand there, but it'd sure be nice if he had a Green Sun Zenith that he could just deal with that Thrun really easily with that 5 mana that he has left. Yeah, it looks like he just equips the slime and gets in with 2 guys with swords.
Yeah, now if he had just double equipped the slime here, he's going to get to untap his lands anyway. And then he would have access to extra mana from that bird. And maybe he doesn't need that mana this turn, but he might need it on a later turn.
Right, yeah, I see what you're saying. That might have been a better play, but I guess splitting it up isn't terrible. Really would like to see what's in their hands. Well, Brian probably has nothing. What's he got? 1 card. And there's Green Sun. Is this going to be for Thrun?
Probably.
Green Sun for Thrun.
Green Sun for Thrun.
I think I saw a checklist card in there, which means he probably just passed the Huntmaster. Would that be the only?
No, he actually has Daybreak Rangers, not Huntmasters.
Could have been the.
Brian has the Huntmaster, and Ryan has the Daybreaks.
Yeah. Okay. So.
It's confusing. I know it's Ryan and Brian.
He has a Dungrove
Elder. Mono green.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he doesn't have to deal with that Thrun right now. He's got.
Dungrove Elder's kind of just better. I've had to play mono white decks against Dungrove Elder carrying Sword of War and Peace, so I understand the plight of the Dungrove Elder with a sword that gives something protection from your deck.
Yeah. Well, Garrick there to help Brian put up a fight. He immediately busted just to draw some cards. So trying to recover from all these hits he's taken with the sword.
I like that Brian does that. I think that, you know, I often see people have a Garrick Primal Hunter and just make it 3/3 when they could be using it as a Tidings. And, you know, a lot of the time their opponent jumps through a hoop, spends a card, and is able to get rid of the Garrick and just leave their opponent with 3/3. And sure, you know, you just got a, you know, favorable interaction. You made a 3/3, your opponent spent a card, they probably had to attack it also. But is that really better than drawing 4 cards?
Yeah, I mean, it all kind of depends on the timing of it too, because right now, like, all right, Brian drew 4 cards, but he's tapped out. He can't make any use of those 4 cards if Ryan is able to do something here that will kill Brian. Like, for instance, if he has another Green Sun Zenith and just gets a Thrun to just.
Oh, I think it's just dead on board.
Oh yeah, I mean, it doesn't, actually, I can't even get it. Never mind, they have pro green. It doesn't even matter. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think this game was over on turn 3.
when
Ryan cast the second sword.
Second sword, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So mono green gets it done versus mono green in game 1. Wonder if we should start referring I wonder if we should start referring to these guys by their last names, make it a little bit easier.
Looks like Ryan has some type of wildlife scene on his shirt.
And in his deck.
Yes. You know, after I go hiking, I always want to play green decks. I just love the scenery.
I think for me, it's just summertime. I mean, that actually happens. Like, it'll be summer and everything's like, it's spring and all the trees are, you know, green and everything. And it's like, I want to play a green deck. I'm feeling really in touch with nature right now.
Yeah.
Like forests. And then I remember green's not really that good, so I don't, at least usually green's not very, very good.
It's funny, I think, for me, I think I'm also somewhat seasonal with my deck choices. I like to play
that too. For some reason, go ahead.
Like summer and Christmas time, I play aggro decks usually, and then all the time in between, I play combo decks.
It's weird.
So
with mine, it's more like
I want to play. I always play control.
Yeah, I want to play like decks with black in them. Like around Halloween, like around the fall, it's like everything's dying. I'm like, yeah, I feel the power of the black man. I want to play black decks with my blue. You know, always trying to play blue, but it does seem like springtime. I want to play like aggressive decks for some reason. So, yeah, it must just be something with the seasons that affect my tendencies. It's really weird. But all right, looking at the sideboards here. I think both guys take the Bellowing Tangleworms out. I think. Unless he just wants something to discard the sword. But probably not.
I think Ryan's going to bring in his Glissa and his Viridian Corruptor and 2 Sword of Feast and Famine. And he's going to be taking out his Bellowing Tangleworm, his Thrun, his Daybreak Rangers, Oh, Ryan only has 2 copies of Strangleroot Geist.
Yeah, that's yeah, I didn't notice that either. That's kind of strange.
Wow.
I mean, it's such a good card. Maybe he just didn't. That seems odd to say. He just couldn't find them. But
No, it's uncommon. He definitely could have found them. Wow.
On the other side of things, Brian, he's got tumble magnets. Interesting choice there.
Yeah, I think Ryan's deck is just much better equipped for this mirror. You know, he has Sword of Feast and Famine, and he has Gut Shots.
Right. Brian has 2 Sword of Feast and Famine in the sideboard here, so he's got Gut Shots in the sideboard. You almost think Brian's gonna make his deck look a little more like Ryan's main deck with his sideboard here, with just a couple of changes.
I'm also interested to
Glissa.
see. Ryan also has Precursor Golem, and the green deck has really no way to, effectively beat the Precursor Golem. But then again, are a bunch of 3/3s really that good when your opponent just casts a Thrun or a Dungrove Elder and just blanks them all?
Yeah, it's
that's the issue. Now, I mean, the biggest card here is going to be Sword of Feast and Famine. They're going to have a Sword of Feast and Famine war in games 2 and 3. Glissa is a very good way to break the parity there.
Right, and both players have Glissa.
Both players,
just one copy each, right? Yeah.
So they can Green Sun for that Glissa.
Right.